What's happening?
Want some help?
The Flash.
Now, this is everything you need to know before The Flash. The superhero movie, not the Arrowverse CW network TV series with the same name. We see Ezra Miller reprise his role as Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, in his first ever featured film, which takes the adaptation of the Flashpoint storyline and bringing DC into the multiverse. Joining Flash in his adventures, not only Ben Affleck, but Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton franchise.
I'm Batman.
The Flash in the DC Extended Universe follows a student who was struck by a bolt of lightning, which grants him the powers to think and move at superhuman speeds and become the Scarlet Speedster. His mother was killed at a young age and his father was blamed for it, and he is desperate to prove his father's innocence. In the DCEU, he is monitored by Lex Luthor and later recruited by Bruce Wayne to be a member of the Justice League.
Stop right there. I'm in.
Flash in the DC Extended Universe. Audiences first see Ezra Miller's as Flash in Batman vs Superman. In the Dawn of Justice, an older Barry shows through a ripped time portal, warning Bruce of the upcoming events, possibly from an alternate, ruptured timeline, a nightmare where Darkseid has taken over the Earth. This follows more nightmare sequences Bruce has throughout the film. In Suicide Squad, he appears in a flashback sequence, appearing again through a portal within a diamond vault, when he brings Captain Boomerang from the Justice League to justice.
No honor among thieves, eh?
And in the Justice League, focusing solely on the Snyder Cut as that has now been recognised to be canon, Barry finally gets the chance to shine alongside his fellow superheroes as one of the founding members. We first see him use his powers to save Iris West, his potential love interest, then talking to his father Henry Allen behind a glass window, who is currently in jail, blamed for the murder of Barry's mother. Still an unresolved mystery due to the poor justice system in Central City. We later see him tap into the Speed Force and jumpstart the Mother Box for the resurrection of Superman. And then in the final sequence, when fighting Steppenwolf, he breaks his rule and the speed barrier to reverse time and save Cyborg and the Justice League from Darkseid rule. The Flash also makes a small cameo appearance in some hand-drawn imagery in the credits of the first Shazam, racing against Starla in a superhero form, and is mentioned in the Fury of Gods trailer.
There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it.
And in the finale episode of the DC TV show The Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad, we see John Cena's character not looking too happy to be rescued by the members of the Justice League, with Flash appearing from a jolt of lightning.
You're late, you fucking dickheads.
We even see Ezra Miller's Flash appear in the CW series, the Infinite Earth crossover episode, sharing the screen with Grant Gustin's version of the Flash, already beginning the events of Flashpoint, as it looks like both Flash at this point, see what I did there, tapped into the Speed Force, with alternate versions of the Flash appearing.
Found Barry Allen. No! What does that mean?
Time travel. Time travel has always been a big part of The Flash, with the addition added to Zack Snyder's cut, as Barry's ability to manipulate the timeline was one of the major things that was away from the first theatrical cut. We first see Barry's ability to time travel all the way back in Batman vs Superman. An alternate version of Barry already exists from a different darker timeline, and the wires of Barry travel through time to warn Bruce to save his timeline, almost taken from the Marvel's Avengers when Tony sees visions of the future. And in Justice League, when he approaches the speed of light.
When I approach the speed of light, look, crazy things happen to time.
We see him reverse time for a split second to jumpstart the Mother Box, and at the point of contact, he alters the timeline, which leads to the events beseeched by Steppenwolf and Darkseid. And to correct the timeline and the death of his team in the final battle, Flash surpasses the speed of light to reverse time once again and save Cyborg from the alternate timeline he created in the first place. He breaks his own rule and the speed barrier while speaking towards his father to surpass his limitations.
Go faster than the speed of light, far beyond the speed of light. You gotta break the rule, Barry, and you've gotta do it now.
And Barry Allen gets his Flash title during the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover.
Flash? The Flash?
Which shows DCEU's Flash's first experience with different realities, meeting a different multiverse version of himself, Grant Gustin's Flash. Even though he's already fought alongside the Justice League and discussed the idea of a multiverse with Cyborg, he is still a novice in superhero matters. Flashpoint. We know the new film followed the Flashpoint storyline, which follows the launch of the New 52 and the reboot of the entire DC continuity. The story follows Alan going back in time to stop his mother from getting murdered and ends up in a different timeline, one where Michael Keaton as Batman exists.
You are?
Yeah.
In the 2011 DC comics, Flashpoint begins with Barry woken up into a universe where there are no Justice League. The Amazonians are at war with the Atlanteans, Thomas Wayne is a vicious Batman, and Barry has no powers. He seeks to save his mother from the murder who he believes is at the mercy of Reverse Flash. With the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Barry has just tapped into his time reversing powers and enters an alternate timeline where his mom Nora Allen and a different version of himself already exist, and it looks like Zod is about to take over with no metahumans existing in this world, as there was no one to stop him like in the events of Man of Steel. Where is Superman? Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne warns Barry prior to the dangers of time travel, and we already got a glimpse of this from the Dawn of Justice, where Barry warns Bruce. And now, with the timelines all jacked up, with the two versions of Batman, multiple versions of Barry from his different eras, General Zod has returned, potentially a Reverse Flash, and throw in Supergirl, you've got yourself a plotline that is sure to be full of plenty of surprises. And definitely no plot holes for the future of Flash. What this means for the multiverse. The multiverse was first mentioned by Steppenwolf in the Justice League, and he quotes,
"The key to controlling all life and all will throughout the multiverse. We found it."
So with alternate heroes, there must be alternate villains, and it seems almost a citadel of Flashes.
Jeez, Rick, what is this place? The Citadel of Ricks.
As it seems we may not have two, but three versions of Barry suited up as the Flash. With Michael Keaton now reprising his role as the Dark Knight, we see how excellent he still looks in the Batcowl, and a deep dive into the Batcave with his different suits from the ages. And Sasha Calle, new to the family, as Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. We see in the Man of Steel, there's actually two pods within the Kryptonian ship, which means another super person was always going to join the family. We will also get a new perspective of Zod. With no metahumans to save the world, how will Flash and Batman deal with the evil Kryptonian without the help of Superman? And I've got to say, I'm loving Batman in its grey and blue, the brave and the bold suit. The future of the DC Extended Universe. The co-CEO of DC Studios, James Gunn, takes a page from the book of MCU, where he wants to tie together movie and film into one coherent storyline. Introducing the first chapter, Gods and Monsters, which starts off with Shazam Fury of Gods, then into The Flash, which is looking to reset the DC universe, next into Blue Beetle, then Aquaman 2, and into TV, The Waller, Amanda Waller from the Suicide Squad, into Superman Legacy, and Green Lantern. The list goes on. The Flash really kicks off the new era of DC TV and movies. The Flash is set to be released in theatres on June 16th. With this incredible returning cast, I can't wait to see it on the big screen. Definitely we'll be doing a breakdown of the first chapter, Gods and Monsters, and starting with the outcome of the Fury of Gods, so keep an eye out for those events, and how we'll tie in with the future of the DC Extended Universe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I need friends.